Hello and welcome to another episode of the Abundantly Successful Show, the show for conscious entrepreneurs who have the deep desire to turn their passion into a successful and thriving business, all while making a big impact in the world. I'm your host, Kay Sanders, also known as the creator of possibilities. Now, for our topic today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about why you should write your own book. Okay? Now, I get it, not everyone thinks writing a book is for me, but let me just kind of talk to you a little bit about the benefits it can really have for you, for your brand, for your business, for your success. Okay, so bear with me, don't go nowhere. Okay, so let's start off with why should you even consider writing a book, and what will it really do for your business? Now, from a business standpoint, for your brand, it will help you gain credibility, expert status, and of course exposure, because if you think about it, your book is going to be out there, it's going to be seen, you will get sales also, every single month, if you're doing it right, you can make sales, you can make some money here and there as well with your book. So, but you get exposure, you get the credibility and the expert status. Just imagine if you tell someone that I'm a published author or I'm a best-selling author, it can open up so many doors for you, okay? So, writing a book is really, really beneficial in so many different ways. It also helps you get your message out there, share your content, let people know, about all the amazing gifts that you have to offer. So really, I would like to invite you to consider writing a book. Now, I get it. So many people, they think, they can't write a book. So let's talk a little bit about, what are some of the biggest challenges that really keeps entrepreneurs from writing their own book. It often starts out with just a mindset. They don't think they can actually write a book, or they have a lot of fears, and fears around rejection, fear of being judged, or even the worry that, well, what if I write a book and no one is going to read that? I think that's everyone's biggest fear, that what if no one is going to read it? What if no one is going to buy the book? Or even they think that they have to write hundreds of pages, but you really don't. Most of the books that I read, even my books, they're around 200 pages. Like the book that I just released, Master of Inspiration, it's only, I think it was 120 pages. But of course, this is messages. But then even my other book was about 190 pages. So you don't have to write hundreds and hundreds of pages. If it's full of value, hey, 100 pages is even good enough, right? So it's about you want to get your message out there, but so you don't have to write hundreds of pages. Now, what if you don't think that you're actually made to write a book? And I hear so many times, I can't write a book. I am not good enough to be an author. I'm writing a book is not in the cards for me. But you know what? Everyone has at least one book in them. Are you a good speaker? Do you enjoy speaking? Maybe you can get it transcribed, or even you can collaborate with other people. That's one of the things that you can start doing, is if you've never written a book before, but you may have considered it, or even after, listening to me today, hopefully I can spark your interest so you can get out there and, consider sharing your message. Like I said, it's going to be so beneficial for your business, and I'll talk about that here in just a minute, what all you can do with just one tiny little book, okay? But I really hope it will spark your interest. So if you don't feel comfortable writing your very, very own book starting out, then you can collaborate with other people. One of my very first books was, I was part of the Change book series where I wrote a chapter. And believe me, when I got the offer to do that, I was like, I gotta write a chapter. Oh my God, that is so huge. That is so big. How can I write that? But guess what? It wasn't that hard. I wrote the chapter and I'm like, hey, that's actually pretty easy. I talked to a friend of mine who was going through a course about writing a book. She kind of gave me the rundown on how to write a book. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write my own book now, because I knew I had so much more I wanted to share. And that's how the coaching business blueprint came about, which I just released within I think 6 weeks after I had that conversation with her. So, you can see it is possible. Doesn't have to be hard. But if you don't feel comfortable starting your very, very own book, getting out the gate, Collaborate with other experts where each person can write one chapter about a topic, like an overall topic. So if, for example, you want to talk about mindset, have everyone write a chapter about mindset or about personal development or whatever it is that you want to create. You can collaborate with other people. Or another thing you can do is you can interview experts. So you're technically not writing the entire book. You're getting the input from other people. Like I was just recently interviewed by someone because he's writing a book and he was inspired by, I think it was Tim Ferriss. He did the same thing. Tim Ferriss is the author of the 4-Hour Workweek. So he had done a book about where he interviewed successful entrepreneurs, and that was the content of his book. So you can do that too. And think about, even if you have written many, many blogs or social media posts or whatever, I'm pretty sure you have written a lot of content already. Guess what? That can go into your book. You know, it just might need to rephrase it a little bit, but change it up a little bit. But guess what? Each of your blog posts that you've posted can be a chapter of your book. So you probably already have a lot of content to write a book, right? Now let's talk a little bit about like what type of book should you write. Now, there are two types that you can write to really benefit your business. One could be your actual story, you know, like how you got to where you're at, you know, your personal story. Or you can write an how-to book, like a technical book. Or you can do an inspirational book. Like my first book was more like a how-to book, how to create a coaching business, how to become a coach. And then my second one, The Message of Inspiration, was an inspirational book. So there are different books different type of books that you can write. And like I said, it could be a collaborative books, or it could be a book about different interviews. So there are different ways that you can write a book, like with different content, but it's all about, it should resonate with your business. So if you're a relationship coach, for example, then writing a book about business might not necessarily be very beneficial for you. So, or you can write a book for other relationship coaches, something like that. But you really want to make it so it benefits your business. When I wrote my Message of Inspiration, I knew it's going to be beneficial for my business because I want to get out there and go into motivational speaking. So having a book about motivation, inspiration would be beneficial. Now, would I write a book about, a cookbook? Probably not, because it wouldn't really fit. So you want to, when you write a book, you want to really make it matching for your business. Now, your personal story can also be beneficial for your business, but also just getting the title, being a published author, being maybe even a best-selling author will really open up a lot of doors for you. But now let's talk about what can you really do with a book. There are many different ways that you can actually do. For one, you have your book, right? So you can use that to go into, for speaking engagements. You can give that as a gift. If you're trying to get speaking engagements, for example, you can actually send that to the company as a little preview of, who you are, what you do, so they can already get a better feel for you as well. But then you can actually turn your book into a signature program. You can, like I said, get speaking engagements from that. You can turn your book into a workshop, an online program, a group program. You can turn it into a seminar or even audiobook. There's so many different ways that you can repurpose your book. The opportunities are really endless. The sky is the limit here, right? So there are different ways that you can really use your book. So, for example, my Message of Inspiration, I share my 5-step process in there, which is already my online program, the Mindset Mastery program, and the Mindset Magic ebook, the little, PDF download that I have. It's all part of my book. So it all goes hand in hand. I can actually turn it into a workshop as well. And it's also one of my new coaching programs that I'm offering as well. So you can see there are so many different ways that you can really leverage a book. So it's not just a book. Yes, it's a tiny little book, but there's so much potential in here. There's so much stuff that you can do with a book. So I would really like to invite you to consider writing a book. Now, let's kind of take a little quick deep dive into, or not so much a deep dive, but a quick overview of how do you get started with a book. So you want to start out with really thinking about, well, what can you write about? What would be beneficial for your ideal clients? And one of the things that I like to say is, I'm pretty sure you've written an essay before, right? In college, I'm pretty sure you've written many essays before. writing a book is really not much different. You start out with the title, you outline the context that you want to put into your essay, or in this case your book, and you just fill in. Same thing. Just a book is a little lengthier than an essay usually, but it's that simple. And don't focus on, oh my God, I have to write this entire book. Just go one by one, step by step. Just take one chapter at a time. You don't have to write, the entire book all in one sitting. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard of the saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? It's the same with your book. It's the same thing with anything that you're doing in your business to grow your business. It's one step at a time. So where do you start? Really think about, what would you like to create around that book? Like, what is the ultimate outcome you want to have from your book? Do you want to really build up your name, get more credibility, use it for, speaking engagements, or even think about, what do you want the audience to get out of your book, right? Think about that. And then if you don't really know how to go about it, get help. I mean, there's so many book coaches out there that can help you. You can reach out to me if you would like some help in that. But I hope that this video today inspired you to really look into possibly writing a book. Because let me tell you, having your own book, seeing your book with your name on it, and even if you can see a picture on the back of me, it is so powerful. You won't even believe it. I remember the very first time I held my first book in my hands, and even this one, I was so touched. I actually started crying, so don't tell no one. But it is just such an amazing feeling if you hold your own book in your hand, and then getting the reviews, like getting the information from the people saying, oh my God, your book is so empowering. It is so amazing. I mean, just think about that. Just put yourself, I would like to invite you, just close your eyes and imagine you holding your own book in your hand. And then the impact that you will be able to make with this one little book, those few pages or many pages, how impactful that can be for other people. Just imagine that. Just tune into that. It is so very powerful. So just know that you too can write a book. There are many different options for writing a book. If you don't really want to write it yourself, you can hire someone that can write it for you. They will interview you or do whatever. I'm not sure how that process works, but they can help you write this book for you. If you're good in speaking, you can just speak everything. And then there's a program, it's called Dragon something speaking. You can use that, or even Google Docs. You can actually do speaking in there as well. So don't let that hold you back, even from the mindset. Just know that there are people out there who want to read your book. And even if you don't think that anyone is going to read your book, believe me, the right people that are meant to read your book, they will find your book. Maybe it's not thousands of people, but guess what? Even if it's just a few hundred, you impacted those few hundreds with your message. So I think that's pretty powerful. So go out there, write your book, okay? And like I said, it's not as difficult as it might seem. Just start somewhere. Get the help. If you want some brainstorming, if you want some help with brainstorming, you can reach out to me or sign up even for one of my Let's Plan to Move Forward session. It's a 2-hour strategic planning session. Or you can also sign up, request the 5-question Akashic Record reading, where you get some clarity around the book you're meant to write, who is it for, the core message, or anything else you would like to know on how to get your book out there, okay? If you would like to, find out more about either of those, like the Let's Plan to Move Forward 2-hour strategic planning session, or even the 5-question Akashic Record reading, go to my website, ksanders.com, go to products, all the information is there. But I want to thank you, for tuning in again. If you like this video, leave a comment below. If you have written your own book, let me know. Share the title of your book below. I would definitely like to, check it out and just congratulate you for writing your own book. I mean, this is so empowering. This is so powerful that you have written your book. If you have not written your book, but you're considering it, leave a comment below and say, yes, I want to write a book. Okay, I want to help you really get your book out there. And also, make sure you head on over to abundantly-successful.com to check out the previous episodes and also the show notes from the interviews and also, my solo episodes. And with that said, thank you so much for being here and have an amazingly abundant and successful day. And I'll see you in the next episode.